the News Channel 5 network. This is Real Estate Real Talk with your host, Realtor Christie Wilson. Sponsored by the Wilson Group Real Estate Services.
Good morning. Welcome to Real Estate Real Talk, Nashville's only live call-in real estate show where we invite you, the viewer, to call in with any real estate question you may have, whether it is in regard to what we're talking about today or if it's just a general question. Feel free to give us a call at 737-7587. My name is Christie Wilson, and I'm your host of Real Estate Real Talk. And this show is sponsored by the Wilson Group Real Estate Services and Farmington Financial Group. And if you have any financial needs that involve mortgages, refinancing, or just want to talk to someone about your financial situation on your home, call Billy Hamburg at Farmington Financial Group. You can reach Billy at 690-5100. And if you have any real estate needs whatsoever, call us at the Wilson Group Real Estate Services, 385-1414, or go to our website, wilsongrouprealestate.com. Take a look at all the listings we have for sale. Take a look at our agents. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or just need a general consultation on real estate, we're here to help you. So again, it's wilsongrouprealestate.com. So this morning, like every Thursday morning we do this show, we have a fantastic day set out for you guys, and luckily the rain held off because usually on Thursday mornings it seems to rain, snow, storm, something, and today it didn't just yet. But with me this morning is one of my favorite agents in the whole world, Miss Renee Puckett.
Good morning.
Wilson. Good morning, Renee. Thanks for being here.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Renee is an agent with the Wilson Group Real Estate Services, and Renee, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have been in Nashville about 12 years now.
Okay.
My husband and I moved from London. We were living overseas for a few years.
That's right.
And I got into real estate about 7 years ago. And
Has it been 7 years?
7 years. And I have just really enjoyed it. I love design. I love architecture. And of course, as corny as it may sound, I love helping people. So
yeah, that's not corny.
I love the whole process.
Yep. You have to have a heart for people when you go into real estate. I mean, you really do. It is truly a it is the quintessential customer service job.
And just like any other job, I mean, you just want to be working with somebody good and somebody who's very thorough. So
thorough, knowledgeable, educated.
Right.
And you are all those things and then some.
Thank you.
But when you say 7 years, I mean, truly, it's like, where does 7 years go?
I know, it's flown by. It has flown by.
So that's 2004? When did you start? Wait, I can't do math.
2007.
Yeah. I really can't do math. Sorry, it's early, and I was just telling Renee I'd quit drinking coffee for a while, and now I'm back on coffee, and I'm doing much better now.
Yeah. So you're more alert.
I'm much more alert. Well, thank you for being on this show.
Oh, sure, thank you for having me.
We have lots to talk about. Our theme for today was going to be get your house ready for spring, but there's a lot of things that are going on, so we're going to sort of be all over the place this morning on real estate, and Renee's the right person to have on the show because she can bounce, and she knows the method to my madness in conversation.
Sure,
so it'll be good. Before we get to the meat of the subject, though, I want to talk to you about things I love to talk about, which is the real estate sales for each month. The Greater Nashville Association of Realtors posts home sales every month, and so for January of 2014, we had a great month. We were up 8.9% in home sales. Now, keep in mind that's not appreciation of your property. That is the number of closed sales. So there were, I believe it was 1,779 closed sales in January. Up, like I said, 8.9% from 2013. And some people think, oh, we're not in double digits. That is a great sustainable number. And one of the things that also has affected those closing numbers is the inventory. Inventory remains a challenge in the real estate industry right now because there's just not a lot on the market. And Renee, that's something we're going to talk about too.
Yeah, and things are moving. I mean, I have so many people that I'm working with that are set up on automated emails because the minute something hits the market, you almost have to go look at it. If it's in really, if it's in good shape and it's ready to move, you've got to jump on it.
Yeah, and that's something we'll talk about too, is how you make sure that your clients are in there first when there's a competitively priced property.
Right.
To make sure that they get it. I mean, it is it's a tricky landscape to maneuver right now. So, and you're just the girl. Also, as I mentioned, Farmington Financial Group sponsors our show and spoke with Billy Hamburg. Interest rates right now on a 30-year fix, we're at about 4.5%, and on a 15, we're at about 3.5%. So again, if you're thinking about buying, get pre-approved. Call Farmington Financial Group at 690-5100. Speak to Billy Hamburg. Or if you're thinking about refinancing, anything of that nature, rates are just sort of a little bit up and down the past few weeks. Luckily, more down than up.
Right.
So we
and
always
still
appreciate.
Really good.
They're great, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year. Each year they say, oh, they're going up this year, and they did go up last year. We were this time last year at about 3.5% on a 30-year fixed rate, and now we're closer, in the 4.5 range. So I'm hoping they stay around 4.5, but all the prognosticators are telling us otherwise.
Yeah.
That it's going to go up just a little bit. So Renee, tell me real quick, what is your favorite thing about being in real estate?
I love the whole process. I mean, from the start to the finish, from just helping somebody work through the different steps. I'm very organized.
Bet you are.
And so I love just all the details that go into it, from helping people get pre-approved to helping them get their home ready to sell if you're helping somebody sell their home, helping them get it staged, just all of the details that I think go into it. I just love.
What made you decide to go into this industry?
My sister's in it, and she's been doing it in Atlanta for probably 10 years now, and I just started looking into it. And I think after you and I had a conversation one day when I was thinking about going into it, you said you should join our group. And I think I love design, I love architecture, and I like just the whole process of seeing the different homes, even whether it's from start to finish, new construction to some of the older homes, the rehabs that have been done to them. So I just love the whole process.
Do you have a specific area that you like to focus in?
I don't have a specific area that I focus in. I mean, I have done everything in Green Hills, Brentwood, Franklin. I've even done things in Hendersonville, Mount Juliet. And if I don't know the area, I usually like to go look at the area to get to know it, to know the neighborhoods, and just to see what's going on.
Gotcha. Hey, we've got a call. We're going to go to the phones.
Okay.
And good morning, Mary.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I have a quick question. I am thinking about putting my house on the market.
Okay.
And but I have these very old cabinets. They're like this oak color, and they're not real wood. They're the kind of the fake wood.
Right.
And I was thinking about painting them
Okay.
white. Is that something you recommend, or is that something you would say, no, stay away from painting the cabinets for reselling purposes? What do you think about that?
Yep, that's a great question. It's a question we get probably every day. Do you want to take it, Renee, or do you want me to?
Sure. Mary, I would definitely say paint them. I think that would give it a more updated look. If you didn't want to go to the extent of painting them, at the very least, I would maybe change out some knobs to update the knobs and the hardware on them, and just give them a really good cleaning. But no, I think painting, I've seen so many people these days, and there's so much, even with newer homes, of people, the painted cabinet look is very in, and I think it will stay in. So I think if you can go to the lengths of getting it painted, I would definitely do that.
I agree 100%. Painting and making sure you use a good paint and more than one coat so it doesn't chip easily and doesn't look cheap but looks professional.
Right.
And as Renee said, I think updating your pulls, your hardware on your cabinets to give it that updated look is a great way to go. And it's not expensive relative, and you get so much bang for your buck in updating your kitchen.
Right.
Good. And make sure you declutter the kitchen too, in case you have a lot of personal stuff, over stuff on your countertops.
Right. And I think going through all the cabinets and just having it literally just in pristine condition, opening up your cabinets, looking to see what's in there, having it very organized, and plus it's a message that it sends out to the people that are coming through, that are looking through.
Renee, you just said the right thing. We always try to get feedback when someone shows our property.
Sure.
And a lot of times the agents say, well, the buyer just didn't like it. And which is valid feedback, of course, but you're like, well, why didn't they like it? But a lot of times it's those little unsaid messages. If your closets are a mess, if your cabinets, everything's just stuffed in there, the buyer comes in and goes, oh my God, everything's stuffed in my house right now. I want space, I want organization, I want clean.
It just being organized. I always recommend that somebody take a room at a time and just go through those closets, even having everything very nicely organized in your closets where your clothes are. Just everything is very nice and neat, touching up some of the closets if you need to, but just going through and making sure everything is just organized, because it sends out a message. I read a real interesting article recently about how people care more for their cars than they do their homes. Well, their homes are a much bigger investment.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point. Hey, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back from the break, we have all kinds of interesting topics to talk about, including an interesting story that was on the news last night on home inspections, and we want to give a second perspective to that. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back to Real Estate Real Talk.